Southern Miss U.S. Army that we start out with. It'll be Mr. Robot looking to get through that first hill. You're going to see two players from Action Academy go out to that right side of the map towards the restaurant. Kellogg's at least gets one on Robot, but it's going to be two for each side. Make that three for Army, and now they are going to start racking up the time. Stash also point out the GPR, not a weapon we've seen much. We saw it once earlier today. I believe it was Ole Miss using it, and it did not do a whole lot of dividends, but this one actually, Strahan just sliding through. The pace of Army is just overwhelming Academy right now.
No, for sure. And I mean, the setup for both these teams are incredibly similar, seeing as how they give each other, tips on how to play. But it's going to come down to raw talent here. You're going to see a lot of, Robot, Strahan, Orbsy, Tyler. They're going to come through, slide, jump up, get those shots off, and it's going to be so fast that, Stash might have a hard time getting his gun up in time. It's going to come down to that raw skill.
Yeah, and I will say, too, Army is coming off of playing Syracuse, and Academy has been on a break for a while. So there's also that to factor in, and everyone on Army is just slaying out right now. 4-1 for both Tyler and Strahan. The subs on the roster going off. Strahan with the movement too. Akar is going to be the only thing getting kills right now for Academy. That'll be Rustic picking that one up, but as you can see in the scoreboard, there's not a whole lot of kills going.
Also interesting seeing all these pistol whips coming out from Tamusa right now. Gets Orbsy getting one.
We're running out to get his life. Orbsy is having an amazing search and destroy game, 12-2.
Does not realize that Brandon
make that another one.
Oh my God! Big triple Pobo. This is impeccable. And what you like to see, Orbsy putting everybody in a spot trap, and he finds a triple as well.
Hey, I'm Caleb Adam, or Orbsy, and I'm the captain of the U.S. Army Call of Duty team here at Southern Miss Esports.
That guy, oh my word. Funny, bro. And this guy can't find me. Turn around, brother. Dude, ah.
So COD, or Call of Duty, is a first-person shooter game. It's somewhat like an arena shooter, I guess you could say. We play 4v4, so team of 4 versus team of 4. So far, I think it's been going great. I have a great team behind me, so it's not too hard to manage and do what I have to do, because they're very responsive and they're always up for a challenge. As far as roles within the team goes, we have a very competitive team. They're very much, we're very much focused on winning no matter what. We do have fun, but fun comes second most of the time. I would say like Tyler gets pretty loud. He likes to be hyped, and I kind of feed off that. If you've ever seen Hunter, he's the complete opposite. He'll clutch a 1v4 and he just sits at his screen disappointed because he maybe missed a shot or two. And then Jeff kind of helps manage everything. Jeff's great at he's also kind of on the staff side of things a little bit, so he's great at telling us what we need to do, helping manage in-game and out-of-game stuff. So it's great to have all those guys together. My introduction to Southern Miss Esports was a bit different. I was here for a while and didn't know it existed until the last Christmas break. I started figuring out about it. I think maybe I saw it on Twitter or something, and that's when I reached out to the people in it, and I was like, hey, I'd like to play. I'm pretty good and whatever. I started playing for the program towards the end of spring of last year, or maybe middle to end, because we had some trouble trying to get me on the roster kind of that late in the season. But yeah, I started last spring. The transition from member to captain, it wasn't too difficult, besides a little bit more responsibility, and also having to take responsibility for others, such as anyone on the team, having to kind of micromanage, keep up with what they're doing, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Overall, it wasn't too difficult, but it's definitely something I enjoyed and endured. We got a sponsorship from the U.S. Army, so that was pretty awesome. I think it kind of matches well because, originally Call of Duty was like a kind of a military style game. Of course, it's kind of gotten more arena cartoony ish as time goes on, but it started kind of as that. So it's kind of on brand, I feel like, for both of us to have that partnership. And it's meant a lot to us, actually. They even came out for the LAN and they had like the sign-up sheet. They had a pull-up bar, some MREs to test out. It was a great time. Prepping for game days. That's the best question. Chick-fil-A. I gotta go to Chick-fil-A to start. So we get here really early. We don't play till about 7. We get here about 3. Get set up, make sure everything's updated. Then we'll go get Chick-fil-A. It's like a tradition at this point to go get Chick-fil-A. So we'll go grab Chick-fil-A. We'll chill out. Maybe we watch some VOD or whatever. And then as we get closer to game time, we'll set up a scrim with a other college team. We'll scrimmage. We'll look at some VOD, see what we did wrong, and we'll talk about our game plan going into the game. And that's kind of where we get our vetoes and our map pull from for that match. Off campus, shout out, I'm good to fight jiu-jitsu. I love doing jiu-jitsu, MMA. I love all that. And Wiggins, so I do that pretty religiously. It's pretty much that and gaming. Balance is probably the hardest part about anything in this like sector of gaming, because we want to be competitive, so we're always trying to play. We're always trying to figure out what we could do better, and it's kind of obsessive. So at some point you have to take a step back and be like, look, I need to focus on my academics at this point, or I need to go walk outside and get active, do some exercising, because it's easy to get consumed. And that's probably with anything competitive, but specifically for us and for gaming. In terms of learning things, stuff I've learned or experiences I've learned from just all of this, this was pretty new to me, actually being a part. Like, I've played competitively for a long time now, but actually being like in an arena, having jerseys, being professional, it's definitely added something, because now, if you have a problem with your teammates or who you're working with, you can't just like leave. You can't just find new teammates. We're kind of stuck together. And, that's a good thing. You get to learn how to disagree with people. You get to learn how to respectfully disagree with people and agree with people. And a lot of people don't ever face that adversity within their career in any aspect. So I think it's good to get that out the way early. I think that's something that can carry over to any walk of life. Shout out Jared, shout out all the staff. The LAN was freaking great. It really just reinstilled like the fire to compete and play. Because, after the LAN, we went home to play and we're like, wow, this is completely different. Like, I don't have somebody across the stage yelling at me. Like, I'm not yelling at anybody. It's just, initially I was pretty much content with not going to a LAN. I was like, whatever, I'll just play online. I probably, got 1 or 2 more years left in me anyways before I'm kind of done competing so heavily. And so I'll be fine. Well, we did the LAN, and after that, now I'm like, okay, we got to go to at least 2 or 3 this year, because like, it's just a completely different experience. I think our match versus Syracuse was our first match. That was a fun one. We did lose 3-1. We took the S&D, but that was like our first time playing on LAN, and it was kind of like a slap in the face. It's like, oh my gosh, we're really here, because we talked about it for so long. So probably that, and then obviously the games leading up to the grand finals, those were always fun. Watching the Nicholls State guys, the LSU guys, the Chattanooga guys, watching all those guys battle out top 3, it was great. Being there, being in the moment, having people yell at you, yelling at people, playing on a new setup, switching setups, it's awesome. I got to meet a lot of new people, make a lot of new connections, a lot of talented guys there. It was an amazing experience. Casual COD players trying to improve their gameplay, figure out what the meta is, watch some people who are good, watch the CDL guys, and play with guys better than yourself. If you're the best one on your team, probably in any competitive aspect, that's not really a good thing. You don't want to be the best one on your team. You should always be looking for guys who are better than you, that you can learn from and continue to grow with. Looking forward to the spring. We're excited to have our first season in the CCL. And, along with that comes, people wanting to play for us. And, we got a lot of eyes on us. So we're excited to compete next season in the CCL for the first season at Southern Miss Esports. And if you're watching this and you get bored, or you don't want to be bored and you want to watch me, go to twitch.tv/Orbsy, x.com/Orbsy, basically Orbsy on everything. I'm live randomly, kind of in and out of season, but since we're out of season now, I'll be live more consistently, so I'll see you there.
What a great introduction to our season. Great stuff there, put together by our new video editor, Blake. Incredible stuff right then and there. Of course, as well, Cookie on the backside of it too, putting all of it together. working on the project. Very excited for what we're able to put together this semester. That video, well, if you want to watch it again, great introduction to our season and our captain Orbsy. That will be available on our YouTube. You can see where it is down below, right here next to me at Southern Miss Esports over on YouTube. That'll be live later tonight if you want to go rewatch it. Incredible video. Very, very fun stuff planned for the semester. But with that out of the way, let's get straight into our CCL season. For those of you that are unfamiliar, because I will say, both teams that you're going to see here tonight are debuting in the Collegiate Call of Duty League, a league that I've been a part of since about, MW19, the game after, something like that. It's been a great time. It's a very historic league within the collegiate esports space, and so for those of you who are unfamiliar with the CCL, let me give you guys a little bit of a breakdown, a little bit of a history lesson here while we have the time before we get into our first match of the night. The CCL, or College Call of Duty League, is the premier collegiate Call of Duty competition, and it is a spring-only league that has been played for a pretty long time. Let's be real. It's been played for a super long time, and it's always played on the most recent title that you'll see the pros playing on. In our case right now, we got Black Ops 6. Huge title. It's been quite fun to watch the CDL. Now we got CCL back in action. Those going concurrently is always a super fun time. And as I said, it's a historic league. So why don't I run you guys through the champions that have been part of CCL. We had it all the way back in Call of Duty World War II 2018. It was a very small league, just about 8 teams. Georgia Southern being crowned the champions there. Great stuff from Georgia Southern in Season 0. Now, we move on to Season 1, where the real big league got started. That was Black Ops 4. You had Humber College. Anyone remember them? I do. They were the greatest hardpoint team of all time. I still have not seen a hardpoint team as good as Humber College. Those guys were incredible. That was all the way back in Black Ops 4. The first primetime champions in the CCL. Then in Season 2, you had Texas A&M, the Aggies, coming through in MW19 to win that CCL season. Following that, we had dominance up in Canada. It was Ottawa Gold taking on Ottawa Black in the Cold War Grand Finals. Ottawa Gold were the champions. Of course, that was their main roster, so you kind of expect them to beat their academy, but still, having 2 rosters in the Grand Final is absurd. That was Season 3 all the way back in Cold War. And then we get a little bit more modern. We had Season 4 in Vanguard. That was Northwood, name that I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that. They actually got their playing time last night here in the new season. And again in Season 5 for MW2, the second 2022, they ended up winning a second time. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that when you can win twice in a row. They are the only team to have done that. And last season, we had Fisher. Who else, to be honest with you, who else but Fisher to win the CCL season in MW3. They were a very dominant team. I don't know if they even lost a match the entire year around, but of course I could be misspeaking a little bit there. But with that out of the way, a little history lesson for you. I feel that no one talks about it enough. It's been a great ride. I've been a part of this thing for a very long time. I'm your host, Wizard, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that, but you can see my name right there. You can see my ad as well. Of course, this is not normally how our production will go, but just on the other side of this window, we had some snow outside. The Deep South, that doesn't happen. So, unfortunately, we had our facility closed for the day, but we are still running the stream. I would never let you guys down. Never, never, never. We always will find a way to get the stream going. I'm here in my bedroom. You can see my bed behind me. I mean, we're doing what we can to get on stream. So this year's format, though, for the CCL, you can see we are listed in, this right here. I'm very bad at that. We are in the Deep South. Now, I'm going to try my best to explain this. It's quite complicated. CCL is always super complex with how it runs. I have it written down, so I'm just going to put this in front of me and read it how I wrote it, because normally I wouldn't do this, but I need the teleprompter because I don't want to mess this up. So this year's format, we'll see teams battle it out within a subdivision of each region for College Call of Duty. There are, I believe, 4 regions: West, Southeast, Northeast, and Midwest. Those are the 4 big regions. Each of those regions, they have a subdivision. This being the Deep South, like what we see with ours, there's also in the Northeast the Great Lakes and the Atlantic. We have the Great Plains in the Midwest and another one there, and so on and so forth with the West as well. But in those subdivisions, we will have 5 weeks of matches, 2 matches a week. But there's one bye week within that span. Ours, I believe, comes in week 4, where we will see 1 match only played in that week. These divisions, after 5 weeks, if it wasn't complicated enough, we'll get realigned. We'll mess them all up. All the top teams, we'll put them all together. We'll see who becomes the best out of the entire region for CCL in not only the Southeast, but also the Northeast, the West, and the Midwest. There is so much going on. After that realignment, there are 3 weeks of collegiate Call of Duty play where 2 matches a week will again be played. But of course, we have to figure out who is even going to be in those 2 divisions that are recreated. I hope that was all explained pretty well, but at the end of all of that, we'll see the overall playoffs, and we will have to find out who gets crowned champion alongside all of those other historic teams: Humber, Georgia Southern, Texas A&M, Ottawa Gold, Northwood, and Fisher. Who will become the champion? Well, this is where it all starts, right here in the regular season. Wow, there is so much there, but with that out of the way, let's talk about Southern Miss. That's what you're here for. You're on the Southern Miss Esports channel. If you're not here for Southern Miss, I don't know why you're here, because you're not getting anyone else. You're getting Southern Miss and a couple other teams they will be playing today: Southern Arkansas and Arkansas State. So, if you were here last semester watching MW3, you saw the roster of Orbsy, Tyler, Strahan, and Mr. Robot. Well, Mr. Robot, who I do just see now popping in the chat, he has retired. He is now just full-time staff. Well, he's a graduate student who is staff. We'll explain that later, but he is a retired player as of now. He still plays for the U.S. Army esports team, but he does not compete in collegiate competition anymore. So in order to fill his position, Southern Miss had to look and see who they could find. You know what they did? They went straight to challengers. And everyone else is going to challengers, so why doesn't Southern Miss? And that's exactly what they did. They brought in Kawa, they brought in Rain. 2 players from challengers that are looking to make a statement here both in their first seasons in CCL. They are both brand new to the collegiate Call of Duty scene. I'm very excited to see them. I don't know much about them other than their placements in challengers, in the Challengers Cups. So we'll have to find out together, really, how they end up performing here in collegiate Call of Duty. But that means we also have a new lineup for this roster, and that is going to be Orbsy, Strahan, Rain, and Kawa. So both players that are new to the team will be immediately starting. Although for tonight, we will not see Strahan. He is unavailable for competition, so we will be seeing Tyler take his place. Tyler was on the roster last semester. He was a starter. He will be starting tonight, but will not be starting in the future. That will be Strahan replacing him after this week when he becomes available for future matchups. I am out of breath. I'm going to be here all night, so why don't we talk about our series while we have the time? I do see everyone is in the lobby. I am ready to go. Once the players are ready to go, that'll be great. But let's talk a little bit about our series that is ahead of us here. You can see in the series layout, it is going to be Southern Arkansas taking on Southern Miss. It will be Protocol Hardpoint to start off our series in the best of 5. Then you'll move over to a red card search and destroy. We'll get to take a little bit of a throwback to BO4. Maybe Texas A&M is in the stream and they're wondering, where has BO4 been? We have been wanting this game so badly. Well, there you go. You got Hacienda, the throwback map number 3. I am sorry that says Hardpoint. I made this graphic, so it is my fault that is incorrect. That is Control, not Hardpoint. I forgot this was from the LAN. Red card Hardpoint, though, is map number 4, and that will be a Hardpoint. And map 5 will be Protocol, Search and Destroy. That is a very long-range series. I am going to be expecting the ARs of this roster to be making their presence known. I will say, it does need to be 3 ARs. I would be quite surprised to see 2 subs on most of these maps. You can get away with it. You can absolutely get away with it. But I think for the most part, it really is going to have to come down to some very solid AR play from both sides. And I mean, that's really what I'm expecting. If you pull out, you need to be pulling out 3 ARs. Protocol, you can probably get away with it. Hasi, you can get away with 2 subs, but ideally, we're likely going to see 3 ARs at least from Southern Miss. I don't know what to expect from Southern Arkansas. I have not seen them play, but without further ado, we have the players starting the game, so we are ready to hop on into the lobby. Just need to wait for it to load. This game does take a little bit of time to load on in, but I see the players. They are good to go. Southern Miss, Southern Arkansas, a lot of South. We're in the deep South. There's so much South going on. It's actually like, it's a lot of South, to be honest with you. And what we're going to do here is we are going to hop on board with Kawa, the main man starting here, making his debut in collegiate Call of Duty. Let's hop on in to our series, ladies and gentlemen. Best of 5. Protocol Hardpoint. Map number 1. Southern Arkansas, Southern Miss. Let's kick it off. On board with Kawa. He's going to be first one into the hill. Orbsy picking up first blood. Not able to get the kill onto that player in hill. Although everyone else of Southern Miss getting kills. Now they will clamber back to the hard point. Get the time there. Only 5 collected for Southern Arkansas. The Mule Riders looking to make some noise here in their debut season. Same with Southern Miss. But you're going to have Kawa starting off at 2-1. Bounces back after that death. And now it's full map control for Southern Miss. But they are not aware of where you see Southern Arkansas spawning. That is going to be still the P2 spawns for the Mule Riders. And they are going to have that side for P2. That's a big rotation if they can get it. Now Southern Miss need to start making their way over. They are going to allow the scrap time to go the way of Southern Arkansas. A lot of trades going through on both ends. Orbsy is on a 5. He is currently sitting at 5. And no, almost gets cut down there. Has a great angle, but MB going to take him down. Rain, Kawa responding in kind. The young guns on the roster. Kawa finds another. 1 player left for Southern Arkansas. That's Lethal all the way on the opposite end of the map towards the gun. Gets taken down. Now Southern Miss have broken the hill. They have control. This is huge time if they manage to get it. It looks like, though, we're seeing Southern Arkansas maybe getting a little bit of a lucky spawn here. End up getting the back spawns. I'm not really sure how that's happened. I guess Southern Miss pushed up a little too far. Contested 32-32. No one really coming out with a major lead. Orbsy, though, the man on rotation. This is a huge fight back in the back spawn. Number 3, though, into Wood. Smart play. Gets the back spawn kill. Now Southern Miss have to find a way to get into the back. Great timing from Rain and Kawa. They will break, but it's not looking like it's going to last for very long. There's 2 on a pinch. That's Mugen looking to make a play here. Has captured the spawns, and it has just been a mix fest for both teams. Southern Miss trying to gain some control. They've only really been able to grab scrap time for the most part. They are in the lead, though, and they're looking to break through once again. Going to be Kawa in hill. Has the pistol out with the red dot. Not going to get it done. Tyler, though, will respond with 2. Gets cut down in the hill. Although it is Rain who is grabbing the hardpoint time. 39 seconds for Kawa. Doing a great job of getting in there at the moment. Kawa has switched on over to a sub. Did originally start out with that AR. Now waiting for the next hill. This is a very good rotation from Southern Miss. They are aware of everyone's position from Southern Arkansas. What will Southern Arkansas be able to do? Lethal not able to get a single thing out of that fight there. Just slides into 4 Southern Miss players. And MB going to get easily cut down from Kawa. Does not check the close corner. This is a very, very hard hill to break. And it looks like, as I'm saying it, it has been broken for the time being. And not a lot of time gained there from Southern Miss. They're going to need to step things up, though, if they want to give themselves a bigger lead. Kawa has done just that. Popped back into the hill. Into Wood. Finds a double. Southern Arkansas looking to just make this mixy, and that's all you can really do when you don't get the rotation. Make the hill mixy. That slide from into Wood almost good enough, but not quite. As it will be again, Trey's going through. Tyler does find another. Lethal pinches into the hard point. Only 10 seconds to fight for, though. Southern Miss going to be on the top side of the map, rotating on through. Now we head back on over to the first hill. First rotation going to be nearly even. Just a 5-point difference here for these teams. Kawa on a pinch. Good work from him. Now looking for this power position. Does get a second. Looking for the third up in the top window. That's a massive fight for Kawa. Not going to spot a whole lot. In the hill is Orbsy with the AR. Grabs one. Has a trophy in front of him. So does need to be careful if he does decide to throw his utility. Although he just needs to soak time. Kawa now on a 5 spree. Everyone from Southern Miss, except for Tyler, really showing out in the slaying department, but getting kills is simply not enough. If you want to win the game, you need to grab the objective time, and that's what they're starting to do, is slowly building a lead. 33 points ahead now is Southern Miss, and they are slowly growing their lead. Huge kills there from Kawa onto the next hill. He's sitting at 18-8, and this could be a huge spawn trap if Southern Miss are able to hold it. Good work there from Orbsy to go on the pinch. Gets caught reloading, though. Mugen only able to find one. It will be Rain in the hill. He is double positive, sitting at 21-12. Lethal cuts down 2, cuts down 3. Sitting towards top rope. Now just forcing Southern Miss to be off the time. He should spot out Rain here, or at least be able to call him out to his teammates. I'm not really sure what he's looking at. Has decided to turn away, and that's going to allow Rain to barely sneak through. Big play from Rain. Just needs to stay alive, and especially when the other team has the spawns. This is great work to just keep him off that time. Tyler actually has put out an AR, so him and Kawa have switched. I'm not 100% sure if this is his AR. He may actually have a sub out and just pick this up on his run by. Although, a good P2. That's a lot of time accrued for Southern Arkansas. They are putting up a fight here against the Golden Eagles. It will now be a rotation over towards P3. And last time we were here, it was Southern Arkansas picking up a majority of the time. Southern Miss need to find a way to break this hill. They're going to start by sending 2 players through the back spawn. Orbsy now through stairs. Great pinch from Southern Miss, but they've only managed to find 2. Can they get the spawns? They do just that. Here comes Rain from the backside. Has basically no one to look at. Takes out a trophy, finds 2 players now in the front door. Pulls out the pistol, finds his second. It will still be trades, though. And Southern Miss are stuck in the back spawn. A lead has been gathered here for the Mule Riders. They are, again, bringing this back into their favor, but for how long? Rain pops a triple. He is letting it ring, 29-16. Now on the rotation to P4. Again, a very, very hard hill to break. If you get the rotation, you should be getting a large majority of the time on this hill. And it's looking like Southern Miss are in prime position to do so. When you got Rain slaying like that, finds 2 more. 5-piece for him once again. 31-16. The new addition is paying dividends. This is a great position from Orbsy. Really like the idea here of him laying on the outer side of the map. You're not going to be checking that if you are into wood. Now Southern Miss can start to build a lead once again. We saw it be 30 plus at the end of that first rotation. Can it be more? And it is just cut down after cut down for Southern Miss. They are just lighting up the kill feed. And really, eventually, the slaying would turn a point. And that's what you're seeing right now. It just becomes overwhelming if you are Southern Arkansas. Oh my, Kawa finds a double. Great shots. The hill has finally been broken, though, for Southern Arkansas. If you were to look at this scoreboard, just at the kills and not the score, you would really think the Mule Riders would be losing by probably 70-80. They are only down by 35. And that's a great sign if you are Southern Arkansas. It means you're playing the hard point very, very well. But again, eventually, when you have all 4 dead on the map, you're going to allow Southern Miss to grab more and more time. Kawa Rain just showing out everybody on the map. This is a good lane for Kawa. I mean, he is just seeing nobody. He's waiting for Ghost to pop into his sightline while Rain gets kills on the hard point. He's looking top window. Will finally get shut down. Tyler just trying to fill the lanes where he can. Gets in the time. Finds one. Looking for the second. Kawa on a 5 spree. Orbsy Now the last player up for Southern Miss on this rotation anew. Good shots in top window. Can Southern Arkansas make a comeback? The 200-point mark has been eclipsed. Good work from Orbsy. At least finds another on rotation. It will be number 2, Mugen, on the minimap, who is in the hill for Southern Arkansas. This is where your comeback can start, but it's not going to look good when you have the young guns of Southern Miss, Kawa and Rain, in the hard point getting kills. Really been lethal and in DeWood fighting back here for Southern Arkansas. They're doing their best that they can. Now down 50 points. But you can really string this hill and P3 together if you get the right spawns. Kawa will make the most of that kill right there. Does grab another 20 seconds. And they can win off of this time right here. Actually, they do not get the tick, so they cannot win here. They will be needing one more second in order to get the victory. So they will have to rotate and look at number 7 on the minimap. He has just spawned over towards P3 or P4, and it's going to be Orbsy looking to catch these players of Southern Arkansas by surprise. And this one may just be said and done. It may be just a bit too much of a lead, especially when you have Orbsy in the new hill, slaying out, finds 2. Certainly feeling good after getting hyped up from that video, I'd imagine. 245 and counting, and there is only one player left. Never mind, he is now out of the play. 250 has been eclipsed. Southern Miss gonna take game number 1 after in a solid fashion there. That is great work from Southern Miss. Quite close throughout most of the game, but it's really going to be Kawa and Rain doing the dirty work of finding all the kills on the map. I believe both of them nearly went double positive. Play of the game, though, from Lethal. Finds 3 of his own right there. You can see in the scoreboard. 37 and 19 from Kawa. 39 and 24 from Rain. What a debut for both of them. Can't ask for much better. And even on the hard point time, you had a minute and a half from Tyler. So certainly doing his job as well. Everyone on Southern Miss showing out 250 to 161. A great sign there. And it looks like I will have to restart my game for the 100th time today. That is very unfortunate. There is a new bug in Call of Duty where you have to restart your game after every single private lobby, which is really unfortunate, but at least we're changing hosts, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. As we head on over to a red card hardpoint, let's take a look at the series layout. There you saw map number 1, Protocol hardpoint, going the way of Southern Miss. They end up taking that one 250, 161, and that's absolutely what you want to see if you are a fan of the Golden Eagles. I mean, that's just incredible. I really liked what I saw there from the new kids on the block. That will be Rain and Kawa. That's a sign of things to come. It's a good day to be a Golden Eagle. It just is. And we still got at least two more maps here. And we got a whole nother series against Arkansas State after this. Unfortunately, I don't have other streams pulled up, so I can't give results around the league there. But while we have the downtime before we head into that red card search and destroy, which again, I will be looking towards Kawa, especially Kawa, on that next map if he decides to keep the AR out. Let's talk about what happened last night. Last night, the CCL opening day for the overall season. There was a lot to go over. So much going on. Very exciting stuff. Apologies for that. I unplugged my microphone, but we are good. So a lot went down on the Northeast. I mean, in the Northeast region. I come from the Northeast region, so it's my personal favorite division. But at the same time, it's typically where you see a lot of the powerhouse schools at. And one of those being Fisher, who ended up falling yesterday, which is unbelievable. But we'll get to that in a second. So while we're talking about the region of the Northeast, let's start with the first upset I want to get into. Temple University out in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They ended up taking on Syracuse in their first match of the night, and in a shocking turn of events, 3-1 over Syracuse. Syracuse, a very veteran squad. You have Steve-O and BCL on that team. That's not to mention the other 2 players on the team there. They ended up taking it in 4, that map 4 being a protocol hard, 0.250, 229, and let me tell you, those guys' comms, they were on the stream, and they were very, very hyped to have beaten Syracuse. I heard a lot of good things coming out of that Temple camp. I'm excited to see them in the future. Temple historically has not been the greatest of Call of Duty teams, and I'm very excited to see what they are able to do in the future when they get to face even more competition. And Syracuse ended up winning their other match on the night, but still certainly a blemish on their record to fall to Temple in 3-1, especially. You would at least think that's going to go 5, especially when you got guys like Steve-O and BCL on the squad, but certainly they will be bouncing back. I don't see them having too much trouble in the future. Someone, though, I didn't see having trouble in the future, or at all, actually, Fisher College. Can you believe this? Fisher Falcons have brought in an unbelievable squad. They have 2 legends of the Call of Duty scene, 2 guys who have been competing since, I believe, Advanced Warfare. Apologies if I get that wrong, but you have Major Maniac and Temp on the same roster. And that's not to mention their other 2 teammates, Silly and Ramby Bambi. 2 massive players in the scene. Now, Silly did not end up playing yesterday. He was coaching, I believe, from what I had heard. So it was Hunnit stepping in. Hunnit, though, also a good player. A very solid guy. Plays in challengers as well. Very good numbers on him. They ended up losing in Game 5. Game 5. Who even got them to Game 5? Well, I'll tell you who got them to Game 5. Central Maine Community College. A new team on the block. Well, not necessarily a new team as in the players, a new school on the block. But regardless of that, you had Zay, Ethan Codd, Dello, and 9 Asylum taking Fisher to Game 5 and winning. They won both the SNDs. They won the first hard point. I mean, what else is there to say? Just unbelievable stuff from that squad. I was watching the stream the entire time, and I am very, very impressed for Central Maine Community College. I cannot wait to see what they do in the future. Genuinely cannot wait to see what they do in the future. That is going to be a very good team to watch. Very, very fun team to watch at that. Just incredible stuff to see. Now, I mean, for Fisher, they're going to bounce back, right? Like, that is not going to be a question. They are certainly going to bounce back. They are not going to have issues in the future. I'm just baffled to see that they lost to begin with. And that's just the Northeast region. There's a lot more as well going on in there. Now, let me talk about some of the other results while we still have the time. So we have 2-0 in the Atlantic region alongside of Temple and alongside of Central Maine Community College. You have you have U Ottawa Garnet, who took down NJIT and St. Mary's, both in 3-1. So 3 teams in the Northeast Atlantic taking on 2-0 records in week number 1. Not the teams you would have expected. I don't care who you are, not the teams you would have expected ever. I am still baffled by that, to be honest with you. But that goes without saying. Now, we are into the lobby for map number 2. We have Red Card Search and Destroy. Let's tune on in. Let's see how map number 2 goes. We're going to hop on things here with the captain of Southern Miss. That is Orbsy. Bomb going to be in the hands of Tyler. Looking like a B-bomb push. And it's a bit of a blind counter. Southern Miss getting a good play here going. There's only going to be one player on that B-bomb site for Southern Arkansas. Into Wood now. Going to rotate over here with Mugen. But that bomb's certainly going to get planted. Tyler will get the rock down, and we have a 4v4 retake in round number 1. Seeing if anyone is able to get in here, and look at the firing squad that Southern Miss has assembled in the blink of an eye on the push. It's all down to MB. Doesn't even get a chance to spot a player before getting shot in the side. That is going to be round number 1 to Southern Miss. And really, all that comes down to is 3 players of Southern Arkansas went on over to the A bomb site, and they end up guessing wrong. Sometimes you guess wrong. Sometimes you guess right. And this was one of those times where you guess wrong, you get punished for it, and that is a round for Southern Miss. We'll swap sides now. Southern Miss on the defense. Let's see who grabs the bomb here for Southern Arkansas. Going to be lethal. And it, just like what we saw in the first round, Southern Arkansas, again, going to aim themselves towards that A bomb site. Orbsy, though, going to be the one to get the first contact, get some damage onto Lethal, who is now under the stage. We'll hop on over to Kawa. He's going to have a lot of work ahead of him. Spots MB, first blood, Southern Miss. Great work from Kawa to stay alive here, too. Now the push has been halted. That guy over towards mid has been taken down, and Southern Arkansas now have to figure out a way to get through this. And maybe a little bit of an overchow there from Kawa. Is traded out by Orbsy, though. Lethal, the one with the bomb, just needs to get out of this position. Number 7, Mugen, is challenging. Great work from him. Takes down Rain. Rain looking to pinch there. Doesn't end up winning the gunfight. Now a 2v2 situation, but both players of Southern Arkansas may just get shot in the back here. Orbsy getting awkward timing, needs to gather with his teammate, and does just that. Tyler and Orbsy gonna high-low this player. Not a chance you're winning that gunfight, son. It will be a 2-0 lead quite quickly for Southern Miss. Solid round there from Southern Miss. Like the position from Orbsy up top in that top window. Basically gets to call out the entire push once he sees the first guy pushing through with the bomb and knows one's stuck under stage. And then after that, it comes pretty simply when you get that first blood, especially with Kawa shooting like he is. You know, again, maybe overshadowed a tiny bit, but he will still stay alive in the round, or stay alive long enough to have just been traded out. Rain, look at how fastly he's pushing this. Almost gets team-nated. And I don't like this position from anyone really on Southern Arkansas. They are not really watching this crossover towards mid-map. They're just kind of playing individual lanes, and that's not going to allow them to play team shots, and you'll see that's gonna maybe cost them there. Tyler gonna get first blood, working with Rain, has another one in their sights. That's into wood. Number 7 is gonna be able to come on a pinch, though. Not until Rain gets a kill, so it is still a man advantage for Southern Miss. Mugen, though, may be able to play spoiler, gets awkward timing. Lethal now into 1v3, makes it a 1v2. Is there anything he's able to produce here? Runs out of bullets in the AR. Now has to pull out the Jackal. They know where he is, but these players of Southern Miss are very split. Just decides to pick up another AR. Orbsy with the oversight. Great play from the back spawn. And man, I'm not liking the way Southern Arkansas are playing this S&D right now. They just look like they are unsure of how they want to do. They don't look confident in their ability right now. And they need to be confident. Against a team like Southern Miss, you have 4 players that love the S&D scene. You just gotta be you gotta be much more careful. As I see Murloc has decided to join the roster at Southern Miss. 5v4, actually 5v5, as both players will have to abandon the game. Please leave the lobby, people. Do not join. I don't know what you're doing. I will cook you all day for just randomly joining. So we will unfortunately have to wait, and I will probably have to restart my game for the 10th time. Unfortunately, again. Murloc, get out the lobby, son. Also, whoever the other player was on the other side, I think it was like Tricks or something. Get out the lobby. What are you doing? Get out of my lobby, please. I just want to watch a game, man. I just want to watch a game. So that map lasted a total of 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Southern Miss up 3-0. We will have to await when they come back. We will be starting, of course, from that 3-0 scoreline because it happened after the 3rd round ended. I don't know what you're doing, man. I don't know what's happening there from those guys. Can they please not join us ever again? Now, if there's not really much to break down. I'll be real, there really is not much to break down on that map. So far, Southern Arkansas just look like they're not super sure of how they want to go about their defenses. Their attacks made sense. I understood what they were going for, but they're not watching each other's crosses. They are simply just kind of running forward, holding an individual lane. And when you're just holding one lane, it's not going to work when your teammates are getting team shot over and over and over. We'll have to see, though, if there's adjustments that come in on for Southern Arkansas. While we wait, though, I'm going to continue bringing up stuff about other divisions in the league. So while we're on the subject of other teams in CCL, we saw the Northeast Great Lakes. 3 teams have a 2-0 record there. It is going to be RIT Orange, Canadore Panthers, and Conestoga. They all find themselves not only at 2-0, they all find themselves with a 6-0 map count, except for Conestoga, who only played 1 game. They had their bye week 1, so they ended up only playing 3 maps where they went 3-0. Now, in the Midwest Great Plains region, this was really fun to look at. Not fun for the teams playing, I'm sure. Fun for me to look at. Out of the 16 hardpoints played in the Midwest Great Plains, 9 of them, over half, were 100-point clubs. If you don't know what a 100-point club is, that means the team that lost did not score 100 points in the game. 9 of the 16 hardpoints in the Great Plains yesterday were 100-point clubs. That's quite unfortunate to those 9 teams who were not able to score 100 points. And in fact, 4 of those were 50-point clubs. 4, 1/4, 25% of the teams that played a hard point yesterday didn't even score 50 points. Man, that Midwest not looking great. Not looking like it's the most competitive region. And if it wasn't obvious from how those hard points went, almost every single series but one was a 3-0. There were 15 series played yesterday in the Midwest, or in the Midwest Great Plains. Sorry, I keep saying Midwest, just Midwest Great Plains. In the Midwest Great Plains, there were 15 series played yesterday. 14 of them were 3-0s. 14. That's quite honestly looking like CDL day 1. If I remember correctly, everyone 3-0. That is quite unfortunate. But we're not here to watch CCL Midwest Great Plains. I probably will never cast Midwest Great Plains. You guys will probably never see that. I will never see it. Well, actually, I probably will. If I end up being a top 25 voter. Oh, yeah, that should be mentioned. There's a chance I'm one of the top 25 voters. So when you see that top 25 poll go out, there's a chance I'm one of the people voting. And I have bad takes according to a lot of people. So we'll see what ends up happening there. But we should be ready to hop back into the game here in just a second. I do hear the timer ticking down to start the game. Hopefully, no one else joins the lobby. If anyone joins the lobby, I hope they are banned in Call of Duty for life, because please stop joining private lobbies. I don't know why you would do that to begin with. For anyone out there, if you are seeing your friends in a private match, do not just hit join. I know you can. I know the option's there. Do not hit join. Why? Oh, that is unfortunate. I did not realize the team names are messed up. I'm going to apologize in advance. But we are back into the game, and I will have these correct for you regardless. So don't you ever worry about that. We will fix the team nameplates for you. I forgot they had to switch sides, so that is apologies from me on that one. But if you just look at these team names and don't worry about what it says in game, then you're cool. You'll see it correctly. It will be Kawa finding first blood onto Dubwood, who ends up getting blown up from a car. Gotta be careful with that. But Tyler actually finds a second for Southern Miss. And it will be responded to very quickly with 2-3 make it of Southern Arkansas. I'm sorry, I was trying to spam player numbers and it was not letting me go to anybody. But you will see that is incorrect. That is Southern Arkansas. Southern Arkansas going to get their first round on the board. It is a 3-1 scoreline right now in favor of Southern Miss. 3 more rounds and Southern Miss will head up 2-0 in the series. And apologies for messing that one up. I was too busy looking at my notes and seeing who lost 3-0 in the Midwest Great Plains region. Now we head into round number 5. Will be Southern Arkansas on the defense. MB found 3 in that 4th round. You managed to bounce back, and it is looking much cleaner too. I will not. Oh, I will be able to spectate Rain for this game. I didn't think I would be able to, but as I say, he gets first blood, almost gets second blood. He's gonna chow it anyways. Finds the second. Huge kills from Rain to open up the round. Lethal responds with one. Does get away with his life. Now number 3, Mugen may get the jump on Southern Miss. Turns the wrong direction. So now just tries to get with the rest, or gets with his teammate. Huge kill from Mugen there. Does even the numbers. Not for very long though. It's gonna come down to Lethal, who makes it a 1v1. It's going to be Lethal and Orbsy. Now 1v1. I know it says Kawa last alive. Call of Duty does not know what it's talking about. It is Orbsy, who was last man alive. Unfortunately, I cannot spectate him. You may actually hear my keyboard clicking. That is me clicking 6 to go to Orbsy. I cannot. So I apologize. It will... No! Lethal doesn't finish the kill, but Orbsy ends up peeking out regardless. And that is going to be another round for Southern Arkansas. So 3 straight for Southern Miss, responded by Southern Arkansas with 2 straight of their own. Can they make it a third, tie up our game? Lethal sitting at 4-0 in the restart. That's going to help him towards some streaks. I believe we'll need 6 or 7 though to make that the case. MB did have 3 in the first round of the restart, but will get cut down in that previous one, so no streaks for him. Lethal does have the RC car, now calling the elevator. Gonna patiently wait for this to go down. While that's occurring, gonna hop on board with Southern Miss, see how their setup is looking. I do see, looks like Kawa is pushed all the way to bottom stage. What timing will he get on into Wood? Gets kind of awkward timing. That car will blow up, but it won't get the kill. Kawa needs to be careful here. Can he get out with his life? He does. Into Wood, though, as that's happening. Picks up first blood, picks up second blood. And now responses coming in from Southern Arkansas. I'm not sure what those first 3 rounds were from them, but they did not look great. They look much, much better now. They are playing much more as a team. Bomb has been planted. 3v2 for Southern Miss. Tyler spots into Wood, does get the timing, does get the kill. Now 2v2, and it's going to be both players winning their ones for Southern Arkansas, and that is 3 in a row now. Southern Miss need to find a way to get back into this game. It is now a tied scoreline 3-3, despite what you see on your screen 3-0. It is not 3-0, it is 3-3. Southern Miss struggling now since the restart. We have a little bit of restart cheese going on from Southern Arkansas. I don't think so. I think two players just decided, I think it was 3 players actually decided to join the lobby just because they got bored. Will be Southern Miss back on the attack. They had great success on that B bomb site in the first round of the game before the restart. And it looks like they're going to try to go back to it. This time, though, Southern Arkansas is certainly prepared for it. They're doing a 2-2 split. And now USM are going to have to find their way in the hill. It's going to be Kawa getting first blood. That's a great entry point. Tyler is now made his way towards the B bomb. And Tyler will hunt down Lethal. Kawa takes down into Wood for his second in the round. It's down to a 1v4. And it's not even going to be an opportunity for the bomb to be planted. Southern Miss will continue to hold the lead. Now 4-3. Great stuff from Southern Miss. They may need to just keep attacking this B bomb site. It looks like that's where their success is going to come in. They did win a round over towards A when they were on offense, but that B bomb site just looking so much cleaner when they go for those attacks. Now into round number 8. Another A side hit for Southern Arkansas. Who's going to be watching the cross? Looks like it'll be Rain. Look at how fast he is moving up the map, just trying to get any space he can. Lethal, though, will be aware of it. Forces Rain to back down. Is Rain going to go for a timing here? And does he have anyone watching over him to get possible eyes on the push? Tyler finds first blood here. Now Rain will take his time and make it through. Does take down into Wood. Down to MB and Mugen, who are trapped. It's a 1-for-1, and that is not going to be good enough in that type of round. will be now 5 on the board for Southern Miss. Rain gonna be get the credit for the last kill, shooting through the soccer net. That is in fact a goal for Rain. Puts Southern Miss on match point. That will put them up 2-0 in the series. Also, that series tracker is incorrect now that I look at it. It is Southern Miss with the 1-0 lead. Going to need 3 straight for Southern Arkansas. They want to win this game, and that's not a good start. Kawa going to take down into Wood, and it looks like I am incorrect. Thank you, Mr. Robot, for pointing that out. Unfortunately, a little late, but will be Tyler that is listed as Kawa there. As Rain takes down Mugen. We have a 2v3 now for Southern Arkansas to stay alive in this game, not go down 2-0. Going to be a tough one, though. You got to retake the A bomb site when you have 3 players in beautiful positions on the post plant. Kawa has been spotted out, or sorry, Tyler has been spotted out. And it's going to be down to Lethal MB, and MB gets picked off 1v3. That should be the game. Only 19 seconds remain. No chance for you to win this one if you are Lethal. Not enough time on the clock, especially for all 3 kills. So that will be game number 2. Southern Miss going to go up 2-0. We'll see the last play of the game here. That final kill will make its way over towards Rain. Takes down Lethal. Closes out the map for Southern Miss. They will head into control with a 2-0 lead. Wait, did it just give them... Oh, I thought it just gave them a round. I was so lost. But that will be it, ladies and gentlemen, for map number 2. Southern Miss, 2-0 lead. Looking to make quick work here of Southern Arkansas. No real hiccups either outside of having to restart that map. And that's where they got their 3 rounds in a row. But after that... Actually, let's show you the stats of the restart while we're here. See there, 8-4 from Rain. Great work from him. Orbsy also 5-4, 5-3 from Lethal. 3-5 from Mugen. No one super negative outside of Into Wood, who was only 2-6 there. I don't know if I got the stats from the first part of it now that I think about it, but that is unfortunate if I didn't. Sorry to a statistician. Sorry, Kellogg's. You're going to have a fun time putting all those numbers together. But that will do it for map number 2. Southern Miss now looking to close out the series into a 3-0 fashion. And they could do that very well here. And after the series is over, we might end stream depending on how long. I think it's going to be like a 30 to 40 minute not 40. Sorry, it's not going to be a 40. It may end up being like a 30 to 25 minute break. And if that is the case, we will stop the stream and we will restart it right after when the next series is ready to go. They will be Southern Miss taking on Arkansas State. But for the time being, we are going to have, actually just hop straight into it. That's beautiful. That's what I want to see. We are right back into the lobby as it looks like oh yeah, I forgot. Southern Miss is hosting this one, so that makes the most sense to me. It will be Control on Hacienda. We do get to see the new map. This map was just added into the pool quite a short time ago, actually. And that is what I like to see. I'm a big fan of Hacienda. It was one of my favorite maps in BO4 when I played the game. When I was still coaching in the amateur scene, it was one of my favorite maps to watch. But we have to see if Southern Miss have a similar mindset when they go into this one. Will be a 2-0 lead. And I will say, with how Rain and Kawa have been playing, they have been very, very good for Southern Miss so far in this series. They have been both standing out especially in that hard point. They were slaying out. If I remember correctly, it was like 39-17 for Rain in map number 1. If he has a similar performance here, I think that's wraps for the series, and Southern Miss would go up to 1-0 on the season, heading into their match with Arkansas State. Of course, we still got a little bit of time before we head into it. We got to get all the players in the lobby, so we're going to have a few more minutes to chat just about what's going on in the league, what's going on around. Actually, while we're at it though, let's take a look once again at our series layout while we have the time to discuss it. As you can see there, map 3 is not Hardpoint. I apologize again. It is not Hacienda Hardpoint. It is Hacienda Control. I just don't know what a series is in Call of Duty, unfortunately. So that just kind of happens sometimes. But as I'm seeing some scores get reported, let's take a little bit to discuss here the series, or a couple other series that are going on around the division. This is the Southeast Deep South results. I do see Eagles COD Gold, which I believe is Georgia Southern, taking on USF Gold. It is a 1-to-1 series there, a 250-238 hardpoint for Georgia Southern and a 6-2 search and destroy for South Florida. That is a 1-to-1 series heading into their control. Looking at Kennesaw State and University of Arkansas, not to be mistaken for Southern Arkansas or Arkansas State, 250-130. Sorry, I just saw this hardpoint score. I'm going to mention this. So, Colonial Esports, that is Nicholls State. They won against Louisiana Tech Academy 250-8 in hardpoint. I did not read that incorrectly. I did not read that incorrectly, ladies and gentlemen. That was 250-8 in hardpoint. I apologize, Louisiana Tech Academy, for putting you on blast, but Nicholls State looking to make statements right there. 6-0 search and destroy, 3-0 control. Wow. They might need to go back to the drawing board. Now, Louisiana Tech University, their main roster, ended up taking down Ole Miss 250-65 in the hardpoint, but they are also ended up losing the SND. So they had a 1-1 series going into map 3, which they ended up winning 3-0. And because of that, they now have a 2-1 lead going into map number 4, which will be a hard point there. Outside of that, no other results have been reported, as I can see, in the Deep South. So for the time being, we will have to await some more scores to get put into League OS. To be honest, I'm quite impressed that this many teams are reporting their scores as the series is going on. That usually does not happen. But we should be ready to load on into map number 3, Hacienda Control, in just a moment. We'll have to see, though, if everyone in the lobby is ready. I do see them set on the right teams, and I hear the timer going down, so we have stalled just long enough to get into Hacienda Control. I'd like to see what we get from Rain in this map. I'd like to see what we get from Kawa in this map. I know I've been saying that all series, but I have not watched these guys play whatsoever. I've not watched them play in Challengers. This is their first time in COD. So, yeah. But it will be Southern Miss starting out on the attack. This is a big map for spawn trapping. If you can get that first wave on defense, you can get a spawn trap. So, we will have to see if Southern Arkansas is able to pull that off. 2-0 lead for Southern Miss, looking to close out the series here on Hacienda. We are into it right here, right now. And it's going to be a B push from Southern Miss. There's only going to be one player, too. That's Into Wood, who's going to have to deal with all this pressure. 2 kills for Southern Miss off rip. Number 5 going to be the one to have to make a play for Southern Arkansas, as the rest of his teammates have died. He's going to at least have spawn control. Does need to start making his way back. Rain reads the play. Great work from Rain. Although, only one player on the point. That is Tyler. Does get some support. Great work from Rain. Does the job with the pistol. We're going to stay on with him. He is 3-0. B point, already 2 ticks captured. And this is quick work. Something that Optic Gaming struggles to do every single year in Control is stack the point. Well, Southern Miss is not Optic Gaming. And Rain has something to say about it because he's found 4 in a row. And B, though, looking to get on a streak of his own. Has a fight here with Rain. Rain's got to be careful. He can get pushed from behind. And Into Wood just not paying attention to his spawn side. Knew Rain, had to have known Rain was there. May not have gotten the call out, actually. And this now it's just going to be bait and switch for Rain. He's already got 2 streaks he can't use. He does not have the RC car for some reason, so he will not be able to use that. Stacking the point once again is Southern Miss. Not for very long though, as Lethal is on a pinch in bottom secret. And if you're Rain there, I'd like to see you just stay alive, get the streaks, but you do at least find the first tick. Now Tyler and Orbsy can hop onto the point. Actually, it's going to be Kawa who joins Orbsy on the hill. And Tyler's going to be slaying out in front of the spawn. And this is looking like a clean round for Southern Miss. That is the third tick captured. 6 ticks. 2-0 for the time being until the attack comes in for Southern Arkansas. But that is quite a quick round here. Wow. Round 1 going Southern Miss's way. And you do not see teams capture A like that, ever. A is a very hard point to capture, and you just saw Southern Miss. It looked easy. It looks like they didn't struggle at all as we see the final, or the great play, best play. It's in the top left and I can't read it. The best play from Rain. Found 3, the last coming in with the pistol there. Had to hot swap and still managed to get the kill into Wood, sitting at 0-6 right now. On the opposite end, you got a guy like Tyler, who is 5-0. Great stuff from them. He does have an RC in his back pocket. That's going to be Rain. Flying up the map, finds one, doesn't get chowed right away, almost allowed for Rain to just push straight through. That is a very interesting play from Into Wood. Does at least get his first kill on the board, so we'll have map control for the moment. But look at this from Tyler. He is in your spawn, just slamming the teammates that just keep respawning in the back corner. This is a very smart play from Tyler. As long as his teammates can continue to get kills, Rain finds a double. They're going to have to push out the Lambo side of the map. Is Tyler's play going to get read? It does. He has 2 players just shooting him from across. Great. That's a very smart play there from Southern Arkansas. They at least stabilize. Rain not able to do anything there. Does get traded out though. Okay, slowly getting captured here. Tyler not able to take this challenge. Just tries to go for a nade. Doesn't get it. And that's going to be a team nade actually from Tyler, who takes out Orbsy. Kawa will respond with 2. Still into Wood, though. We'll get the first tick of progress onto A. Now going to push forward, look for something. Orbsy has something to say, and it's quite loud. Rain now pushing through, looking to get into the spawn. Only one player really in position to make a play here if you are Southern Arkansas. That's MB. Does get the drop on Tyler. Now has to try to drop into Hill. Rain will cut him down. 2 players, though, have managed to make their way onto the point. They can capture this A side, and this is the harder hill to capture, and it looks like everyone is not, or both teams are not struggling to capture it for some reason. 12, though, on the clock. They do get slayed out of the hill. No one really in a good position here to get there. It's going to be down to 7 and 8 into Wood and Mugen to at least hop on. Stop it at 2.6, and the time will click down. Wow. 2-0 lead, and I'm pretty sure we've only been playing for about 5 minutes. Southern Miss are making quick work here of Southern Arkansas in control. Best play will be handed on over to Kawa. It looks like I've messed up, by the way, on the call out of the RC car. I apologize. I do not know the GAs super well. I know them, but I don't know them. Heading into round 3. Southern Miss looking to end this one quickly. Mugen sitting at 2-12, 4-10 for Into Wood, 4-8 for Lethal. The only man close to positive is MB for Southern Arkansas. They are struggling right now in control. Going to be a 3-man push over towards B. Sorry, 4-man push over towards B for Southern Miss. First blood to Orbsy. Now watching the pinch. Great read from Orbsy. Doesn't find the kill though. That's going to be MB. Good shots from him. Mugen will also take down another. Although, as that's going down, 2 players of Southern Miss have stacked the B point. And if you remember, the objective is what matters. The kills, not necessarily as much. 2 kicks already on B. Southern Arkansas are looking to get back to this. That's going to be number 8, Into Wood, the man that has to make the play. He's almost triple negative, though. He is struggling right now in this mode. Is at least contesting, not for very long. And that will be the capture for Southern Miss. And a turn and burn from Rain, 13-5. And oh me, oh my, it's looking like a pizza pie victory here for Southern Miss. They are looking to just slam the door shut, not even give a modicum of thought for Southern Arkansas that they could win this series. They would need a reverse sweep anyways, but still, with shots like that from Rain, he's just raining down all the kills, sitting at 15-5, triple positive. And that may just do it, ladies and gentlemen. You may have just seen the last of Southern Arkansas for the moment, and that will certainly be it. Orbsy ends it on the 5. Mugen may be able to jump on this point for a second, actually. And he does, finds one, immediately traded out. Is there anyone else I can step on? No. That is 6 ticks for Southern Miss on their attacks. 12 ticks for Southern Miss on their attacks. And the best play going over towards Rain. Just slamming in that map. 15-6 overall. I mean, that is one of the filthiest scoreboards you'll see in the history of Call of Duty and Control. 15-6, 14-8, 13-3. Wow, okay, never mind. Well, we don't get a scoreboard. Okay, that's unfortunate. We do not get a scoreboard. Hate to see that, as it just randomly threw me in a party with someone else. Man, a 3-0 series for Southern Miss to kick off their season. Incredible work there, especially in that Control. They dominated in map number 3 on Hacienda. That is what you want to see from Southern Miss. But that is going to do it for the time being. We have 30 minutes until the next match is ready to start. So what we are going to do, we're going to turn this stream off. And then when it hits 7:50, we're going to turn the stream back on. And when we turn the stream back on, then we are going to get right into our next series. That is going to be Southern Miss, U.S. Army, taking on I do not know how to read. It is Arkansas State. We will see you guys on the other side. We are ready to kick off our next series, the final one of the night, at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you guys then.